I'm back with the seventh session of the chapter Nationalism in India. See students, in the last video we have studied about that how the concept of the Purn Swaraj was being taken by the Congress leaders and how they have celebrated 26 January 1930 as an Independence Day. This abstract idea of freedom could be easily related with the concrete idea of everyday life. This was the main issue of Gandhiji. Gandhiji wanted that this abstract idea of freedom could be related with the concrete and the strong idea of freedom with the everyday issues that the people are facing. So students, this we are going to study and we are going to see today what all slides we have. We have Dandi March, Civil Disobedience Movement, we have the impact of the CDM, Civil Disobedience Movement, and the Gandhi Iron Pact. In the last video you have already studied about the Viceroy, Lord Iron. So what would be the agreement between the Gandhiji and Lord Iron would take place? This we are going to study in the further slides. See students, when Gandhiji has decided that he is going to connect this issue of abstract idea of freedom, so what he has done, Gandhiji has found salt as a powerful symbol to fight against the colonial government, and it helped in uniting the nation as well as the people living in the country. Unity could be shown easily, and this he has taken in the salt as a symbol to unite all the Indians of different community. See students, this was the time when the British government has taxed the salt. See, salt is a commodity that is used by everybody in the society. All the people living in the country, whether rich or poor, of any community, of any class, everybody was consuming this salt. So Gandhiji has taken salt as an issue to fight against the Britishers. So you can see that what Gandhiji has done to fight against the Britishers, we have seen that on 31st January 1930, he wrote a letter to the Viceroy, Lord Iron. He has wrote a letter stating 11 demands. What are the 11 demands? This you can see in this slide that is in front of you. So we have seen that he has stated his 11 demands, and he wanted that his 11 demands should be fulfilled by the British government. You can go through these the 11 demands that was being asked by the Gandhiji to fulfill. To carry forward the mandate given in the Lahore session, we have seen that what is a mandate? Mandate is an official order that we people expect, and that has to be done by the government. So this was the mandate that was forwarded by the Gandhiji, that these demands should be fulfilled by the British government. This demands, we have seen that in the Lahore Congress session, Gandhiji has kept these 11 demands, and they have kept and they have passed it to the government, and they have given, Gandhiji has given an ultimatum. He has given an ultimatum that by 11th of March, he has decided that he is going to, by 11th of March, you can see that by 11th of March, these 11 demands should be fulfilled, and the government should agree to fulfill and to pass the law based on these demands that been cited in the Lahore session and been discussed in the Lahore session. So these 11 demands should be fulfilled. This was already decided in the Congress session, Lahore Congress session 1929, December 1929. So this mandate has given an ultimatum. This was a kind of an ultimatum that was given by Gandhiji, that if these 11 demands, it depends on a government to accept it or to reject it. If these 11 demands would not be fulfilled, then the Gandhiji would take the further step. Okay, so you can see the most important demand, and the people that were really were discriminated and were really got affected by this. You can see that there was an abolition of salt tax. This was the most important demand that Gandhiji has highlighted while giving the ultimatum to the British government. You can see that he has reduced he wanted that there has to be reduced the rate of land revenue up to the 50%. So whatever the land revenue that was demanded by the British government, that has to be reduced to 50%. And there are other important demands that has been discussed and wanted that the government should look into it. So Gandhiji has given an ultimatum on 31st January 1930 to the government, British government. Gandhiji said the most staring of all was the demand to abolish the salt law and government salt monopoly. Government used to manufacture the salt, and Gandhiji wanted that the monopoly in making the salt, manufacturing the salt, should be taken away by the British government. Salt, Gandhiji said, salt is something consumed by the rich and the poor, and it was one of the most essential item of the food. And he said, taxing salt reveals the most oppressive face of the British rule. This is the most hated fact that reveals that what the British government wants. They have taxed such a commodity which is minutely used, in a very minimal amount it is used, and that is also taxed by the government. Gandhiji has stated 11 demands in his letter, and he has sent that letter to the Viceroy, Lord Irwin. And he said that if these 11 demands stated in the letter or stated in the mandate would not be fulfilled, then after the 11th March, Lord Irwin has a time to decide whether he is going to fulfill the demands or not. If till 11th of March, if these demands would not be fulfilled, then Gandhiji as well as the Congress has decided to launch the civil disobedience movement. Students, we have seen that till it was an ultimatum that was given to the government as well as to the Viceroy. But we have seen that Viceroy, he was really not very happy. He was not ready to negotiate with the demands that was stated by the Congress, and he don't wanted to bring down the policies of the British government, and he was not ready to accept the demands that were stated in the mandate of the Lahore Congress session. We have seen that the Lord Irwin has said that he is not going to fulfill the demand, and he has rejected the letter. So we have seen that what Gandhiji is going to do is, yes, Gandhiji has started the civil disobedience. How he is going to start? The initial point of the civil disobedience movement, he has started from the Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad, Sabarmati Ashram, and this is the headquarter from where Gandhiji is used to start all his satyagrahas. We have seen that in this movement, Gandhiji has decided that with his all 78 trusted volunteers of the ashram, Sabarmati Ashram, he is going to start the march against the salt law. You can see that Gandhiji and the salt law. Gandhiji has decided that he is going to start a march from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi. Dandi is a coastal town in Gujarat. till that point you can see what is the distance from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi, the coastal town. It is 240 miles from there, from the ashram. Gandhiji has started this march with all 78 trusted volunteers, and he was traveling a distance of 10 miles in a day. 10 miles in a day, 240 is the total miles, 240 total miles are there. So that means he is going to cover that distance in 24 days. He has covered that distance in 24 days. So wherever we have seen that thousands of people have started following him. Wherever he has taken a halt, wherever he has stopped, thousands of people came to hear him, and he has announced that we people are going to disobey the rules and the policies that are made by the British government. So he has thousands of the followers who are following in the Dandi March. He has urged to the people, he has requested to the people that we can defy all the British policies, all the British rules, but that would be done peacefully. We are not going to use any violence. Peacefully we can defy, we can refuse, and we can disobey the laws and the policies made by the British government. And not only this, he in his speeches, wherever he has halted at different places, in all these 24 days, he has explained about what he really mean about the Swaraj. On 6th of April 1930, he reached to Dandi, a coastal town. He reached to the coastal town, and ceremonially he has manufactured, he has boiled the water. After boiling the water, he has manufactured the salt, and after manufacturing the salt, he has ate that salt, and he has legally disobeyed the rules that were made by the British government. He has said that from today we people are going to launch he has declared that from today, as I have broken the salt law, because the monopoly of manufacturing the salt is with the British government, now I have made it and we have started using it. So declare it officially. He has declared the civil disobedience movement from the Dandi, the coastal town. According to the civil disobedience movement, he has urged to all the important members and the different social groups of the society that how the people are going to defy the rules made by the British government. We have seen that wherever people are available, wherever possible, the way they wanted, they can defy the rules, but the rule should be defied peacefully by the common people. Not only this, liquor shops and the foreign cloth shops, they all were picketed up. The people have stopped going to the government schools and colleges. Lawyers have stopped their practices. The people have started refusing to pay the taxes. There were different types of taxes that the people were paying. That one such example is the Chaukidari tax that they used to pay. Public can boycott all the law courts, and they have stopped their practices, and they have stopped all such rules that were formed by the British government. They have defied it. They said they are not going to, they have started disobeying the rules and regulations made by the British government. Many of the government servants as well as many of the panchayat members, panchayat officials, they have resigned from their post, and they said they are not going to work for the British government. Forest people who were living in the different forest areas, they have also defied that they are not going to follow the forest laws, and they have also stopped paying taxes to the government. They have violated the rules of the forest government, and they have entered into the restricted regions of the forest. They have taken their cattle for grazing, which was earlier restricted. So these are the different ways that the people have defied the laws that were made by the British government. Gandhiji has said that if something happened to him, or if he would be arrested, then all other important leaders are there in the Congress. Their verdicts or their commands or their demands and their instructions would be working. So local leaders should be obeyed if Gandhiji should be arrested. This was the verdict that was given by the Gandhiji. You can see that how all they have defied. It is highlighted here. Salt was needed by everyone. The march was 240 miles away from there, and he went there and he has made the salt. Media coverage, many of the people came and they gathered, and too much of the awareness was there, and boycotted the foreign goods. Alcohol shops were picketed up. Capitalist people, women's, Congress members, forest communities, everybody has participated into it. Forest satyagraha and non-payment of the taxes. They said they are not going to pay the taxes. And we have seen that there were many important and the violent incident has taken place in different parts of the areas. You can say violent incidents. Sholapur, Chittagong, Peshawar, Assam, Manipur, and northeastern regions. There many of the violent incidents has taken place. We have seen that there were different impacts were there for the Gandhiji. It has the impact of the civil disobedience movement. People have said has boycotted the foreign goods. Import and the export of the goods were not taking place. Trading with the foreign good was not taking place. People have picketed up all the liquor shops, and the foreign cloth shops were picketed up. People have stopped going. Economy was highly affected, and this was all the scene that we have seen in the civil disobedience movement. In civil disobedience movement, Gandhiji has appealed to all the important leaders to be non-violent and peacefully organized and peacefully run the civil disobedience movement. We have already seen that the leaders, Congress leaders, they have boycotted the legislative assembly elections. Legislative assembly elections were also boycotted by the important leaders of the Congress as well as the other Muslim League leaders. And the decline of the export was also one of the important factor to the economy. Although we have seen that many of the Muslim people, they have participated, but their participation was not as high as we have seen in the non-cooperation movement. Appeals by the Muslim leaders to stay away from the movement, and because of the active government encouragement to the communal dissension, this was the Muslim League was highly conflicting views are there, that Muslim League people, they were not ready to join, and people, they have discouraged the civil disobedience movement, and the participation was discouraged by the Muslim leaders of the Muslim League. And we have seen that we are going to see what is civil disobedience. You can see that civil disobedience, a simple and the literal meaning is, civil disobedience is the active professed refusal to obey certain laws, demands or commands of a government, or often occupying international power. Obedience is something, though, that we are not going to follow. We are going to defy the rules and regulations. In a simple way, you can easily understand the rules and regulations made by the government. We are not going to obey them. We are going to break all those rules and regulations, and we are not going to work according to the rules that are made by the government. What was the effect? You can see that as the movement spread, foreign cloth was boycotted and the liquor shops were picketed up. Peasants, they have refused to pay the taxes, and Chaukidari tax was also not paid by the people. Many of the village officials, they have also resigned from their post. And in many places we have seen that people have violated the forest laws by going into the reserved forest to collect the wood and to graze the cattle. So students, how the government response would be there, how the government is going to respond again with the act or the civil disobedience movement that was taking place in the country. There has to be a government response also. British government is not going to sit quietly. So government also responded very brutally and in a very repressive manner. So we have already seen in Sholapur, in Peshawar, in northeastern region, Assam, Chittagong, there are different violent incidents has taken place. So government has also responded brutally to suppress the civil disobedience movement. And for that you can see that worrying about the different government was really worried about the development of the civil disobedience movement. As the movement was spreading and it was increasing its volume, then government was really worried about how they are going to control it. So government has started arresting to all the important leaders. Among them, one important leader is Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. He is popularly known as the Frontier Gandhi. He was a great follower of Gandhiji. He has immensely participated into he has given much contribution in the civil disobedience movement. And he has started one of the group, okay, that is known as Khudai Khidmatgar. Khudai Khidmatgar is also known by the term as red shirts, okay. And Gandhi, he was arrested in April 1930. Why he was arrested? See, he is Abdul Ghaffar Khan is also known as Badshah Khan and the Frontier Gandhi. The angry crowd who were demonstrated in the streets of Peshawar, and they have attacked on the armors or at the police. So the people, they were arrested, and even the leader Abdul Ghaffar Khan, he was also arrested in Peshawar, and he was sent behind the bars. And many other important leaders were also arrested. Gandhiji was also arrested in running the civil disobedience movement. Many of the industrial workers, when Abdul Ghaffar Khan was arrested, 1 month later Gandhiji was also arrested. So we have seen a month later Gandhiji was also arrested. Many of the industrial workers in Sholapur, they have also attacked at the police post, municipal buildings, law courts, railway stations, and all the other important buildings that symbolizes the British power or the British rule. That means all the buildings and institutions of the British government, they all were attacked by the demonstrators in Sholapur. Peaceful satyagrahis, they were also arrested. There were many leaders as well as satyagrahis were arrested by the British government. Not only the demonstrators, they were arrested. We have seen that the women's, children, and the other members, common people, they were also arrested by the government. And you can see that almost more than 1 lakh people were behind the bars in by the civil disobedience movement and the government has done. Seeing such a situation, Gandhiji has decided to call off the civil disobedience movement. So when this violent incident, he has heard about at Sholapur, he has heard about the Peshawar or at the northeastern regions, that people became violent and they are not paying taxes. Paying taxes was a part of the civil disobedience movement, but getting violent was not the part of the civil disobedience movement. So Gandhiji has decided that he is going to take back this movement. He was not happy to take back this movement because it was just started, but reluctantly he wanted to take, and he wanted to come into the come with the agreement with the Lord Viceroy Iron. So Gandhi Iron Pact was there on March 5th, 1931. Gandhiji has entered into a pact or an agreement with Viceroy Lord Iron on March 5th, 1931. This pact is also known as Gandhi Iron Pact. Okay, and on March 5th, Gandhiji called off the movement and he entered into an agreement with Viceroy, and he has consented his participation in the Round Table Conference. We have seen that in the previous video we have seen that the members of the Congress were not happy and they don't wanted to participate into the Round Table Conference during the time of the Dominion status. So the first Round Table Conference was not attended by the Congress leaders, whereas it was attended by the Muslim League and the other few members of the other political parties. But the Congress members, they said they are not going to participate into it. But when Gandhiji has came within the agreement of the Gandhi Iron Pact, he has decided and he has given his consent that he is going to participate into the Round Table Conference that is going to take place at London. We have seen that Gandhiji has decided that I am going to participate into the Round Table Conference, but all the prisoners who are behind the bars, they should be released by the government. So it was kind of an agreement that has taken place between the British government, Lord Iron, and the Gandhiji. Gandhiji said if all these prisoners would be released, more than lakh of the people were there who have been behind the bars and who have been arrested for all the important because of their participation in the civil disobedience movement. So that he decided that all the prisoners should be released. In December 1931, Gandhiji went to London and he attended the conference, but British government was not ready to negotiate with the demands of the Indians, and when the demands of the Indian people were not fulfilled, it was not highlighted. Lord Iron was also not ready to negotiate. So Gandhiji was very much disappointed and he came back. He has left that Round Table Conference and he came back to India. The British government was started following the new repressive policies, and he decided that Abdul Ghaffar Khan and Jawaharlal Nehru were in jail. That means all the important leaders of the Congress were behind the bars and were in the jail. Not only that, there were some people who wanted that the civil disobedience movement should continue. So the Congress as well as the political party which was running from such a long time, this political party was also considered illegal by the government. Government said that this political party is an illegal and the activities of this political party should be immediately stopped, and they should not do any such meetings and demonstrations and rallies and things should not continue. These political attending should not be there and the gathering should not be there. So British government has declared that this party is an illegal party. Not only that, we have seen that Gandhiji was really not very happy to start this CDM again. But when he was highly disappointed with the conference that he has attended at London, in a very apprehensive manner, he was not very happy to start it again, but he has restarted the civil disobedience movement. And with a great apprehension, Gandhiji has relaunched the CDM and it continued for a year. But by 1934, it lost its movement. And later on, in 1932, the CDM was resumed and the government has arrested Gandhiji as well as Sardar Patel. Iron Man of India. Sardar Patel is known as the Iron Man of India. Gandhiji was arrested for relaunching the civil disobedience movement and Sardar Patel was also arrested. So later we have seen that the civil disobedience continued in different parts of the areas and by the different social group it continued. And finally in April 1934, Gandhiji has decided to call back and withdraw the civil disobedience movement. So in 1934, finally it was taken back by the Gandhiji. So with this, the civil disobedience movement ended up in 1934. And how the civil disobedience movement would be carried out by the different other community members, that we are going to see, students, in the next video. Okay, so in this, related to this video, I have given you an assignment. You can see this assignment, 18 questions. Students, keep sending the assignment to me. Latest by Saturday you can send it to me. Okay, it's a request that you can send it to me by Saturday. Okay, so I also need time to just go through all the entire assignments written by all the students. Okay, so your efforts are really good. Keep doing that efforts. Thank you so much for watching the video.